the best part. Big Phil Collins fan. I'm T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live. There's a heavyweight, there's a middleweight fight coming on this week on Showtime that there's not really any really big buzz about. People don't really care about it. It's Danny Jacobs, WBA World Champion. Remember, Gennady Golovkin is the WBA Super World Champion versus Peter Quillin. They're putting a lot of hype behind it. They actually gave it a full episode of All Access, and it was like a full 25 or 30. It was like 25, 20, 27 minutes long. Mayweather sometimes only be like 18 minutes long. They really are really building up this battle for Brooklyn thing. Now, I was supposed to be there, but long story short, I'm going to be doing another video. I've been to like the last 3 Barclays fights, I believe. But I'll be going to the Deontay Wilder one. But I like Danny Jacobs and I like Peter Quillin. But when it comes to, who has the better chance to win, Danny Jacobs has been knocked out before. Peter Quillin has not been defeated, even though he has to draw against Andy Lee. So boxing ability, I would have to go with Peter Quillin, and it doesn't really look good that Danny Jacobs got knocked down by a light punching Sergio Mora either. So realistically, to me, the storyline of this fight is really where is the winner going to go next. Now, Eddie Hearn Matchroom UK fighter Chris Eubank Jr. is fighting a fighter by the name of Gary Spike O'Sullivan on December the 12th. And basically, that's supposed to be an eliminator to be the winner of Eubank or Spike Sullivan, to fight Danny Jacobs or Peter Quillin. Now, if you don't know who Eubank Jr. is, if he wins, I would like to see him go up against Danny Jacobs or Peter Quillin. But right now, outside of that, the only people that I would like to see, I would like to see Peter Quillin versus Danny Jacobs versus Canelo or GGG, of course. But with this political landscape bullshit going on, you can't, it's hard for me to talk about those fights when I know, no Al Heyman fighter has fought on HBO in God knows how long. So, with this whole, with them having access to PBC and then some type of alignment with Showtime, for example, this fight is on Showtime, Danny Jacobs versus Peter Quillin. I don't know if the networks are going to come together. I want this whole network thing to end. I wish the networks wasn't involved when it comes to promoting these fights, because you got now networks signing fighters and saying, nah, you fight on our network, and it just messes up big fights that can be made and big fights I can talk about. Now, Peter Quillin did show up to the Erislandy Lara versus Jan Zavek fight. Erislandy Lara saying he's going to move up. And in my opinion, I think he should do so, because when it comes to the cream of the 154-pound division, he's pretty much fought him, the names that he can fight or the names that he wants to fight, they don't want to fight him. So him moving to 160, would open up maybe him versus a Danny Jacobs, because when it comes to the 160-pound division, the only belt that HBO does not hold, meaning Gennady Golovkin has the IBF and the WBA and Andy Lee. Okay, well, Showtime is airing Andy Lee versus Billy Joe Saunders, so you got that WBO out there. So the winner of Danny Jacobs versus Peter Quillin could also go after the winner of Andy Lee versus Billy Joe Saunders. They could go that route. But there's fights for the winner to fight. But like I said, the names are really, really limited as far as big fights that can be made. You got Erislandy Lara, you got Eubank Jr., and then you got Andy Lee versus Billy Joe Saunders. That would be a big fight, because it would be a rematch for Peter Quillin if he wins. And also it would be, a big fight for Billy Joe Saunders if he wins to come over here and fight in the States, as he's been wanting to do, in a fight that he could probably win off of boxing ability. I'm not saying he will. I don't think he can beat Peter Quillin, but it all remains to be seen. I'm interested to see what Danny Jacobs is going to do, because this is his biggest fight since he's got knocked out by Pirog, or Pirog. I forgot to pronounce his name. So this is going to be interesting to see. Smart money is going to go with Peter Quillin. Danny Jacobs has been knocked out before. I want to go with Danny Jacobs, but at the same time, I don't know what he can do better than Peter Quillin. And also, if you don't know, these guys are friends. I'm not saying they're going to take it easy on each other, but I'm really interested to see what's going to happen. So I'm T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Oh, and by the way, Peter Quillin is actually looking in shape. Remember, he didn't make weight for the last fight, and he had to go back on the scales. But he's looking like he's in tremendous shape. Danny Jacobs always looks like he's in shape. I'm T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live. Please subscribe.